Hey everybody, this is the update for Thursday, February 13th, day before Valentine's Day. Thanks everybody for praying. I know we start every video like that, but believe me, they sustain us more than you understand. A lot happened today, a lot we found out today. So I'll tell you everything that we found out and tell you specifically some things to pray for. First thing, kind of a Jesse travel pro tip. If you're ever thinking, I hear Chicago's this nice, really nice this time of year. Well, no, it's not. It's freezing. It was cold. Went outside today for a little while. Don't recommend it. Other than that, it's been great. So, pro tip, wait till June to come to Chicago. Sarah started going through her tests early this morning and carried on throughout the end of the day. I know it sounds like a broken record, but she's weak. She's in a lot of pain. She's getting more frustrated. So it's a lot. Within the transplant team, there are a lot of moving parts. There's a lung transplant team. There's a liver transplant team. There's a nursing team. There's a social worker team. There's nurses, a primary medical team. So there are a number of doctors or teams and doctors within those teams, and they're talking and all that kind of stuff. So all that said, there's a lot of moving parts that have to fit together to make this happen. We've met some of the team. We met more of the team today. We met with a few doctors, and they explained to us their role within the team and the processes. I had another conversation with Dr. Nadig this morning. He came in and he told me something we've been praying for, that almost all the biopsies that they took have come back and they are clear. So that's the thing we needed first. They had to be clear. The only testing that they took that hasn't come back are the ascites. That's the fluid that they drained off of her abdomen. They have to test that for any malignancy whatsoever. But nothing so far has come back. So we fully expect the same for the fluid that they pulled off of her abdomen. So that's a huge answer to prayer. But I also want to build a picture for you about how much work they're making Sarah do, and how much more of your prayer we need. So I'm talking with Dr. Nadig, and he describes it to me like this, much like he did the other day. He says, you have primary transplant cases in this box, and then you have kind of outside the box transplant cases over here. And then you have Sarah's case is way over here. And he says, I have a lot of convincing I have to do. He said that it's not so much the message, but the messaging. So one thing we need to pray for are people who have the ears for that message. Pray that they hear the desperation in our voice, and that they could have compassion and understanding in the whole situation. Because he said this, I asked a question. I said, okay, I know that the convincing has to happen, but like, how rare is it that you're asking this team to do something like this? And he said that it's never happened in the entire world. So if this surgery is approved and moves forward, it will be the first time it's ever happened in the entire world. That's coming from Dr. Nadig. And obviously we understood coming into this thing that multiple organs with cancer would disqualify her from transplant candidacy. However, they've listened to us, and they've tried to be groundbreaking in their approach for curative intent. So it just goes to show you that this whole testing phase that she's going through is new to everybody. So they've done this testing before, but never on someone. They've not done this lung testing on someone who has liver cancer or has their liver failing because of cancer. So the testing they're putting her through, she's having reactions to it unlike anyone else because of just the additional cancer in her body. So she's responding a different way than other people usually have or would have and all that. And so they're trying to put the pieces together for the first one ever to have this surgery. So that's what we're looking at. It's a huge mountain. So there's a lot of unknowns. Being the first, there's just nothing to compare it to. So you can't pull data. You can't call someone and say, hey, how was your experience with this? You don't know what or if or how cancer will return. You don't know how your body will respond post-op, all that kind of stuff. They have an idea, but again, this is the first time it's ever happened, and she would be the first in the entire world ever to go through with this surgery, having cancer in multiple locations and not have a curative intent with surgery. So when he said that, I mean, there's a lot of weight, there's a lot of unknowns. Can it happen? There's a lot. So the question is, one, can Sarah's body withstand the testing and the rigorous ongoing ask for her body to keep doing stuff? That's one of the questions. So when we ask you to pray for strength, that's one thing we need. We need strength. We met with another doctor today, and you could see in his mannerisms, he questioned a lot. He's like, well, in medicine, we have these protocols where we want the best outcome for you and all that. So you can hear the reluctancy in his voice. Great doctor. I mean, the doctors, nurses here have been phenomenal. It's just, you got a lot of moving pieces. You got a lot of cooks in the kitchen. You got a lot going on. So that's going to be, when he left, Sarah and I both said to each other, it's going to take a lot to convince him. But he's one of many. So anyway, we've met an incredible group of people, but I just wanted to tell you guys that to pray for her as she continues this eligibility process. She has, I think, just a couple more tests to complete, and then if completed, then we go before the committee next Thursday for the liver and Friday for the lung. Not us personally. The medical staff will go in before this committee on our behalf, and that meeting will be that's what decides if she's transplant eligible. So a lot going on there. So pray for that. Also pray, she's getting antibiotics right now, just because some counts are off, and blood counts and all that kind of stuff are off. So they're just treating her for an infection and all that kind of stuff. So just pray for that to continue to get better. All right. I know this was a little bit longer than normal, so keep praying. Thank you for praying. There's a few things to pray for, and much love. And thank you for the messages, the songs, all that. You guys are awesome. Y'all have carried us. I can't say it enough. Thank you. Much love. Fight hard. Let's go.